Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Benicia Ponder, your story coach and book writing strategist from inspirationalauthors.com. And I am super excited to bring you another episode of our Breakthrough Moments author interview series. I am so pleased, so privileged, and so proud to be able to chat with the authors of Breakthrough Moments, our newest inspirational devotionals book collaboration project. This project is packed full of stories of faith, of resilience, of restoration, and God's amazing love. If you have not already picked up your copy of Breakthrough Moments, I encourage you to head over to inspirationaldevotionals.com. Not only will you be able to see our authors, see the project, you will also be able to pick up your copy. So I encourage you not just to pick up a copy for yourself, but inspire breakthrough for 5, 10, 15 of your friends too. They need it. They need it too. All right. So today I am bringing to you Pastor Gilles Gentley, who is one of the co-authors of Breakthrough Moments. And I'm excited. His story sparks hope. His story is for those of you who are watching and you might think I've gone too far. I have messed up too much. I cannot be helped. Like there is no breakthrough for me. This is just it. Listen to this interview. Really understand that it's not over. It is never over until God says it's over, and God can turn so many things around. So I don't want to give away too much of your thunder, Pastor Gently. I want you to introduce yourself to our audience, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm excited to be here, so thank you very much for having me. The pleasure is really all mine. But like you said, my name is Pastor Gilles Gentley, and I'm the pastor of Catalyst Church in Jericho, Vermont. So yeah, just excited to be here and to share that story of hope. Like you said, God has saved me
Yeah.
from a lot, so I'm excited to share.
Yeah, well, let's dive in and talk about what made you want to share your story. Your story is very powerful. It opens up our book, and it's right there. It's right there about restoration, about um, when we talk about God's love and God's faithfulness towards us. I think your story just sums that up. So give us a little bit of background and then talk to us about what led you to want to share this.
When you say background, are you talking about the story writing or, my testimony?
I want to know more about your testimony, more about the background of the story. So
Okay.
background of you. Yeah.
Okay. So I spent most of my childhood and young adult life feeling like I was a mistake. And when a quarterback knows that the defense has made a mistake and there's a penalty, he just kind of gets that chance to make the play however he wants. And that's what I felt my life was like. Like it didn't matter. And so I was just going to live as recklessly and carelessly as I could. And it ended up costing me a lot more than I really wanted to. Um, and I think what really hit me near the end of my addiction was that I realized that I had hurt people that I cared about. When I was 13 and 14 years old, and sneaking out and smoking pot and drinking and doing the things that I did, in my mind I said, I'm not hurting anyone, so it doesn't matter, and who cares? I'm a mistake, so it doesn't matter. But then fast forward to, 17 years later, and I was married and had two little girls, and just destroyed my marriage and my life. And sitting in a room one night and wanting to take my life because I didn't understand how I could continue living this way. I knew that there was not an out for somebody like me.
Mm,
Um, the end result of addiction is usually jail or death. Um, and
right.
I knew that's where I was headed. And and I was in a room, and the Holy Spirit just spoke to me in an audible voice, just like you're hearing my voice now. And he said, "It's Jules, it's my love and grace that you're not dead or in jail."
Mm,
And there was this sense of peace that came over me, where I knew that somehow God was going to make it right. And so I called a pastor the next morning and told him what was going on, and he sent me to a rehab. It's called Teen Challenge, and that's in Johnson, Vermont. I went to that location, and I was there for. It's supposed to be a 15-month program, and it ended up being about 15 years of my life. I
mm,
spent there because I never thought that I would be free of addiction.
mm.
And when I found that freedom, that's all I wanted to do was to help others to find their freedom and their way out, to let people know that you don't have to stay an addict your whole life.
Yeah.
That's still my that's still my driving force in my life right now, is to let other people know that there is freedom and hope.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And the reason I do is because so many people who feel like I've messed up too much, like the fact that God cared enough to say, "Hey, no, 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 we're not going to do this anymore," and then led you into this program where now you are helping others. Talk to, I mean, what in I know your story, but
Yeah.
what is it that is really um, helping you to share? How did you get over, um, bridge the gap between um, I'm an addict to now I'm someone who helps others to recover and move on. How did you bridge that gap? Because you talked about 15 years. So what happened in that time that helped the transformation process?
Boy, a lot of things helped in that. There was leaders who spoke into my life and who called me out on some of the things that I was doing. I had to stop playing the victim and take responsibility for my life and my actions and the things that got me there. Um, but when I saw the changes in myself and others noticed it and were commenting on it, that kind of became fuel for me to want to share. And then as I would share my story, and I would see the hope come alive in people, and see this, my story talks about the dry bones coming back to life. When I start to see people who have that, wow, if it worked for him, it could work for me, and then they're getting their lives right and their families are being restored. It just snowballs, and that's all you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Especially about the, being able to take the initiative to move forward. A lot of the stories in breakthrough moments, and there are a wide range of stories from all kinds of different situations, but one of the defining moments in all of them was that taking the responsibility of knowing, hey, God is doing this in my life, but I also have a part to play in that. And I think that is so important for us to realize. Give some advice to someone, um, you know, beyond taking the responsibility, beyond becoming aware and acknowledging, hey, I'm in this place, I need restoration. What are some of the things that you coach and counsel and advise people about when they find themselves at that crossroads of where they were, where they are to, and they're headed towards where God wants them to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the things that I feel or believe is that okay, you've made the acknowledgement that I need help and I'm here because I made these choices. You still have to make the choice to get up and go and do something about it. So maybe you don't need to go into a rehab. Maybe it's just a 12-step program, or maybe it's just going to apologize to somebody or uh, fill out a job application. I don't know, but you have to start taking steps forward to help yourself. So
Mhm.
that's usually my biggest advice to somebody is start doing the right thing. If you want to change your past, the way to do that is by doing the right thing today, and eventually your past is going to become the good decisions you're making today.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Your past is going to become the good decisions you're making today. I love that. That is so practical that and so spiritual at the same time. It's just one step at a time. One step at a
That's it.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So talk to us more about the work that you're doing today. Your pastor, but what else are you doing um in the world today?
So I'm writing. I'm working on another project as well. And just helping the people who I get and come in contact with to discover their purpose in life and why they're here. Because I think that everybody who's alive has a purpose and is part
Mhm.
of God's plan. And so we
Yeah.
need to be doing what God has called us to do. Ephesians 2:10 says uh, that God has set aside good works for us to do, each one of us, and that excites me. And so I enjoy helping people lay hold of the reason that God has called them out.
Yes. Yes, yes. Yes. That's very powerful. You know, the fact that we have a purpose. We have um a unique calling on our lives that nobody else can fulfill but us. God gave us that calling, and it's so important that we step into that. So thank you for that work that you are doing. I want to talk a little bit about the project. What was your experience like? As a co-author for Breakthrough Moments, what was the writing like for you? What was the process like um, for you?
It was exciting, um, and it was scary, and I just, those voices that tell you you can't do this and you're never going to do this and you're not good enough and all of those things. I still struggle with some of that stuff. So coming into this project, for me it was a step of faith, but it was also I knew that I needed to do it, and I just felt blessed to be able to find you in this project. And so starting to do it, it's that intimidating blank screen that sits in front of you,
Mhm,
and then you just
mhm.
start typing it out and working it through and going back and oh, this isn't right, and finally turning in a manuscript and being like, okay, here it is. It's another step of faith. Here, have somebody put eyes on this and tell me what they think.
Yeah.
And there was some people who through you guys that challenged me. It came back a couple times and fix this and fix that and tell me more about this. And
Mhm.
so it was a really lot of learning, um, but it was fun. And then at the end of it, you get that feeling of it wasn't that bad and I can do this.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. 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 Um, and letting all of our authors know, our audience know that Pastor Gently is not only in Breakthrough Moments, he's also releasing his own journal project through the Inspirational Journals program. So we're excited about that coming up later this year as well. I love the way that this can serve as a catalyst for so much more. We have authors who are doing other projects, who are writing their own books, who are speaking and doing all these things, but it starts when you step out. So thank
that's
you,
right.
Pastor Gently, for stepping out, for sharing your message, for just being a willing vessel. I mean, sometimes it's just that's all it is. It's just saying, okay, God, I'm here, I'm obedient. I'm doing what you call me to do, and he takes care of all the rest of it. So I
That's
thank
very
you
true.
for that obedience. Yes. Well, as we wrap up our conversation, is there anything else you want to share? Are there any closing words that you would have to someone who is listening to us or watching us and saying, you know what, I want to help. I know God has placed some things inside of me, but I just don't know where to start. What would you say to them?
I would tell them to find somebody who they trust and reach out to them and get some counsel. Whether it be you or myself or somebody who's in their life who can speak to them, who would encourage them. If you're listening, you can do it and you can break free from any of the chains that are holding you back, whether it's addiction or negative thoughts or anything else. You can do it. Find somebody who believes in you and encourages you and take that step of faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Pastor Gently, for joining us. Again, I am Benicia Ponder, your story coach and book publishing strategist of inspirationalauthors.com. I encourage you to go over to inspirationaldevotionals.com. That's inspirationaldevotionals.com to pick up your copy of Breakthrough Moments. It is amazing. The authors are simply amazing. The stories they share are powerful, inspiring, motivating, all the good adjectives, right? All
Yeah.
of that. So pick up a copy for you and your friends and your family. If you're in a place where you're feeling like I need some inspiration, I I I feel like I'm stuck. This will help to get you unstuck and really encourage you to move forward in what God is calling you to do. So thank you for joining us. I will see you in our next author interview. Until then, remember that you are indeed the light of the world, and it's time for you to let your light shine. Bye.